Timmy just got broken up with. He spends all his time looking at old pictures, checking her Snapchat score, and thinking about their past together. Because of this, Timmy's never able to move on and he stays lonely and single forever. Alexander. Alexander moves on. He hits the gym, he pursues his purpose, he levels up. And because Alexander chose to focus on himself, he begins to live his best life and eventually attracts an even better girlfriend. Be like Alexander, not like Timmy. So if you clicked on this video, chances are that you're going through a breakup right now or you've gone through one quite recently and you're not exactly sure what to do. You're probably going through lots of feelings of regret, of sadness, and you just don't know how to move on and what to do. So in this video, we're going to talk about how you should navigate a breakup the right way as a young man and a few of my kind of personal stories on how I have done this, where I've learned, where I've screwed up, and where I've gotten better. So the first time I ever went through a breakup, it was back during my freshman year of high school. There was this one girl I was dating and we kind of had some issues going on. We weren't really vibing that well with each other. We really weren't able to spend a whole lot of time together because she had dance stuff going on. I had football stuff going on. So our relationship was already going downhill. And then one day I noticed that, she was at another guy's baseball game. And I didn't really think anything of it at first. I thought, oh, it's probably not that big of a deal. She's probably just there to, hang out with some of her friends. And then eventually I heard that she was talking to this guy from multiple other close friends of mine. And I remember just when I heard about this, just feeling so down about myself and it just hurting me so much because I was just wondering what am I doing wrong? Where am I screwing up? And then one day I get the dreaded text message from her that she wants to break up with me. She wants to move on and she wants to focus on herself. Long story short, she didn't want to focus on herself. She actually ended up dating that other guy who she was talking to, who she said was just a friend. But I had to learn that lesson the hard way. And I remember after I went through this breakup, it was so hard for me to move on. I would just be constantly thinking about her, wondering where I screwed up. I'd be checking her Instagram, checking her Snapchat. One day I texted her and said, oh, I really miss you. We should get back together. And because of all of this, I stayed single for a very long time after, and it just felt so painful because I'd see her, going out with this other guy, and I was still so obsessed over her. So that was kind of my story on what not to do. Then fast forward about 3 years later, now I'm in college and I'm going through my next breakup. But this time what I did differently was instead of obsessing over her and thinking about her all the time, I just went ghost and I focused on myself. I started hitting the hardest gym sessions of my life, going twice a day, started leveling up all areas of myself, improving myself. And after just 6 months of doing this and working on myself, I was in the best shape of my life. I had the best social life I had ever had up to that point and was having a lot of success with dating too. I'd have girls who would message me first on Instagram. I would have girls who would, match with me and text me first on dating apps. And it finally felt like I was actually in the position where, I wasn't the one doing all the chasing and women actually wanted to chase after me. And it's all because I just used the breakup as fuel to get better and navigated it in the right way so I could actually build myself into the person I had to be to have a successful dating life. So if that sounds like you, we're going to go through the 4 steps of navigating a breakup and coming out a champion. So number 1, the first step, and it's so important you take this one and you don't overlook it, is you have to completely move on. Where so many guys go wrong and where I went wrong in my first breakup is I left the door open for her. I was always thinking oh, maybe one day I can get her back. Maybe she'll text me back. Let me message this girl and see if she wants to get back with me. But because I didn't completely move on, because I was leaving the door open for her to come back, I was never able to actually get on the right track after. I was constantly in this state of missing her. And if you're in that state where you don't leave things behind and you don't move on, then literally none of these other 3 steps are going to matter. You have to have the mindset that she left me, so I'm gonna go ghost. I'm gonna move on. You gotta go no contact. And I know what you might be saying. Oh, but can't we just stay friends? We should still, no, don't stay friends with her because you're going to see all this shit that she's doing. You're going to see her going on all these fun adventures, living this good life without you, and you're going to feel like you're missing out. But the truth is, bro, the relationship ended for a reason. It ended because you guys probably aren't meant for another. And when she broke up with you, she basically said, hey, I'm not betting on our future together. I don't think you're a guy who's worthy to stay with. So is that a girl that you should really want to have back into your life? No. So the rule that you have to set for yourself is you gotta unfollow her on all social medias, you gotta stop texting her, and you gotta at least do that for 2 months. That's like the bare minimum. And then at that point, okay, if she chooses to message you during the no contact, then you can decide what you wanna do. If she realizes that she screwed up and she wants to get back with you, you can think about doing that. That's your decision. But what I will say about that is usually those people who get back with each other, it doesn't end up working out. But the mindset you have to have about that is she left you. So if she wants you back, she's gonna have to chase you. You're not gonna chase her, because what does that show? That shows that you value yourself. That shows that you're not gonna take yourself for granted. That shows that you're focusing on the right things. So cut her off, move on, and have the mindset that this relationship is over and I'm not gonna try and get it back. The second step, you have to confront things. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, like we said earlier, this girl chose to break up with you because she wasn't willing to bet on you. She didn't think that you were that guy, right? She didn't really want to have a future with you. So you got to sit here and you got to ask yourself, where did I go wrong that allowed the relationship to end? Because you could be saying, well, maybe it was her fault. Maybe she wasn't putting in effort. And that could be true. Maybe she did some things wrong too. But at the end of the day, as a man, you have to take accountability for the situation. If she left you, it's probably because you weren't being your best self. You got in a relationship and you got complacent. You stopped taking her out on all these nice dates. You stopped hitting the gym as much. You got out of shape. And she saw that and she said, yeah, he's not the guy that I fell in love with. So you got to sit here and you got to ask yourself, okay, what's the reason for why this relationship ended? Where did I screw up? And how can I learn from it? Because where you're at right now, yeah, going through a breakup, I've been there before. It's a very hard spot to be in. And sometimes you don't want to like confront the pain and really think about it and ask yourself, why did this go wrong? Sometimes you want to just shut it out, avoid it, and just like focus on other things. But I actually think that it's really important you confront the pain, you think about it, and you ask yourself, where did I screw up? That way you can learn from it and you don't make the same mistakes down the road, because that's a big part of having a successful life as a young man. You're gonna make mistakes, bro. You're gonna screw up. You're gonna have dating mistakes. But at the end of the day, it's all about, do you learn from them? Because everybody makes mistakes, but at the end of the day, it's just about not making the same ones over and over again and learning from them. So if you learn from your mistakes, that'll allow you to have a better dating life. But guys who don't learn from their mistakes, guys who never confront them, guys who avoid kind of the hard conversations and thinking about these things, they repeat the same things over and over again and go through a negative cycle. So if you want to have a positive dating life and not repeat the same mistakes, you got to learn from them. Number 3, you got to level up. Something that I've, in a weird way, liked about going through breakups is I look back and in the moment, yeah, it really hurt. You know, I'm not going to pretend like it was fun going through a breakup and it was all good. But when I look back, there was so much growth that happened in those periods of time. And when you look at a lot of pro athletes, a lot of movie stars, a lot of successful people, they gained success because they went through pain, because they went through hardship. The truth is, no man who ever achieved anything great did so in a life of comfort. They had to face challenges. They had to face road bumps. They had to go through hard moments. But those hard moments are what shape you. They're what build you. So you have to have the mindset that I'm not gonna, dwell in this, which for a little bit of time, it's okay to be down about it. It's okay to, for a few days, feel like you don't really want to do anything and kind of be, a little sad. But after that, you gotta move on. You gotta have the mindset that I'm not gonna sit here and dwell. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna improve myself. I'm gonna get in the best fucking shape of my life. I'm gonna go become the person who makes her regret leaving me. And if you do that, then you came out the breakup a winner. You came out of it as a champion. And your life is going to be so much better because of it. So don't let this negative moment define you. Don't let it hold you down. But it's all down to how you approach it. If you sit here and you cry about it all the time, you don't move on, and you stay stuck in this negative loop, you'll never get to where you want to be. But if you use it as fuel, you use it to help you get better and get on the right track, you will get to where you want to be. Which leads me into step number 4, you have to get back in the game. The worst thing you can do after going through a breakup is either go back to your ex or not move on at all. Now, with this being said, I don't think you should rush into a relationship or go on dates super quick. You should probably give yourself like 2 to 3 months of focusing on yourself, reflecting, and not rushing into anything and making a bad decision just because you're a bit desperate and you're a bit lonely. You have to get in a relationship from the right frame of mind, and you have to give yourself time to recover. But eventually, you gotta get back in the game. You gotta go out with other girls. You gotta go on more dates because you're never gonna fully move on until you close that past chapter of your dating life, until you go out and you try to find somebody new. And the truth is, if you do the steps that we talked about in this video, you move on, you learn from your mistakes, and you improve yourself, dude, you're gonna attract a woman who's 10 times better than the girl that you had before, who's a much better fit for you. But you have to allow yourself to get back in the game. Go out and approach girls. The next time you see that girl that you want to DM on Instagram, just shoot her a message and have the mindset that I'm moving on with my dating life. I'm going to find a new person, and I'm going to find the person who's actually right for me. But you have to move on. You have to go find somebody new, and you have to get back in the game with dating. So anyways, bro, I hope this video helped you out. And I know from personal experience that breakups can be really hard. It can be a rough thing to go through, but I know that because you're watching videos like this, you're trying to level up, you're trying to improve, you will eventually get to where you want to be. You got to trust that. I know you will. I know you'll get there, but focus on the right things, keep improving yourself, never give up, and you'll get to where you want to be. I'll see you for the next video, bro. And by the way, no pressure, but once you feel like my free content has helped you out, it's helped you make a positive change in your life, and you want to take the next step to leveling up your dating life and building the best results that you can feel free to check out my group coaching link in the description, where you can get group calls with me, you can get courses, and learn everything you need to know about building your dream dating life as a young man. But no pressure. Hope the free videos help.